Hi, this is Nathan from Ray Networks. What we're going to go through today is how to make a repository and how to use the schedule activity button to officially schedule all of our backups that we want to create with our repository. So we're going to start off in the repositories menu on the left menu of SiteManager, and we're going to make a new repository. We do have some direct to cloud options available, but the most commonly used repository is the network share option. So that's what we're going to use for a demo today. I usually liken this to mapping a network drive in Windows. It's very simple, very easy. It takes just a matter of a minute or so, and you will have a network share repository that you can save backup files to. We're going to select this option, click Next. What it wants here is the share path that we want to save the backup files to. So I'm going to go ahead and type in the share name. You can use either a DNS address or the IP address. And I'm going to put the share name that I intend to use for this backup job. I can save backups from a single machine or multiple machines into this particular repository. We then want to put some credentials in here for Macrium to use to connect to that repository. In the domain box, you're going to use either your Windows domain or the computer name of where that share is located. When I click Next at this screen, I get a couple options here. First, it's going to have me give the repository a name. And the other thing that's key here is I can use the notifications to tell me if the disk space falls behind a certain threshold, or if I want it to purge old backup sets to make space for itself for new backups. So those options are available to us. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish, and you'll see that the share is connected to, and I now have a new repository where I can save backup files. Now, here's the most key step to the whole process. After you've created the repository, you want to scroll down using the scroll bar on the right, and you will see the Schedule Activity button. I'm going to go ahead and select the Schedule Activity button, select the repository I want to configure, hit Next, and what happens here is we assign the definition and schedule that we made in our previous steps to the repository. So you're going to make your definition, which configures what you're backing up. You're going to make your schedule, which configures when you want the backups to happen. Then you're going to configure the repository, which is where the backups are saving. And then we're going to assign the definition and schedule to that repository. I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's the definition I made in my earlier video. Here's the schedule I made in the earlier video. And when I hit finish, you will see when I go back to the repositories and scroll down, you will see here that it lists out my future schedule for all of the backups that are going to occur into this repository. And I can see also here, if I've got files in there, what the file size is, and all those things are available. I really always say that the Schedule Activity button is probably the single most important button in all of SiteManager. But that's how you configure a repository. Very simple, very easy. The other thing I'll point out here is there is a Browse button that allows you to browse this repository so that you can do file level backup even out of a full system image. You're able to do file level backup utilizing this Browse button.